Hi, this is Glenn Mazzari, and you're watching EVH Gear Discussion with Eric Broadbent.
Welcome to another edition of EVH Gear Discussion. My name is Eric Broadbent, and today's episode is being brought to you in part from our sponsors, the Van Halen News Desk and VanHalenStore.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the EVH 5150III LBX, or otherwise known as the Lunchbox head, a 15-watt all-tube head, and a solid steel chassis, brought to you from the manufacturers at EVH Gear and Eddie Van Halen. We're taking a quick look at the front of the amplifier. We've got a 3-band EQ, low, mid, and high. We've got our gain structure here to the left, and we've also got volume at the end, along with our presence. On the back, which we'll get into in a little bit, we've got our effects loop, our standby power, we've got our quarter power switch, and then we've also got an effects loop and a resonance control. We'll take a look at that in a minute as well. Right now, I've got my gain structure on the blue channel, which you're familiar with. You should be familiar with if you're familiar with the 5153 line. I've got the gain at around the 7 o'clock position, and we're just going to give it a little try, a little demo right now. No effects, nothing else, just straight into the amplifier, and we'll show you what it sounds like at that gain, and then we'll adjust a little bit more from there. So here's what we got. A little bit of grit to it. We're going to bring it up a little bit more now, starting at probably around the 9-10 o'clock position. Not too bad at all. Gonna roll up a little bit more, gonna go a little bit past the 12 o'clock position, we'll say about 1 o'clock. A little bit of hiss getting in there, that's fine. We can take that out with a noise suppressor. I kind of like that spot. That sounds pretty nice. I myself have not found the need to go past the 12 o'clock position on the gain on this amp. I think it works perfectly right around that spot there. I think that's the sweet spot. But we're going to go a little extreme. Just you want to know if I can do it? Let's do it. Let's bring it up to around the 2 or 3 o'clock position. Actually, I don't mind that either. I don't think I'd want to go any further than this. That's probably the max I'd go. But hey, let's see what we can do. Why don't we go for broke? Now you're noticing quite a amount of hiss in there. I definitely recommend a noise suppressor pedal, which you'll hear later on. It's a high gain amplifier, you're going to get some noise. Alright, so we're pretty much on max. Heck, we'll go right full max. Here's our gain. Great sustain. So there you go. There's the gain structure of the blue channel. I also just want to show what the tonal structure is as well too, with the low, mids, and highs here. So I'm gonna bring the lows back a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna bring them around 1 o'clock. The mids I'm gonna scoop right back. I'm gonna put it back around the 9 o'clock position, and the highs we're gonna leave maybe I'd say about half. Okay, so with that gain structure, let's bring it back to about half. So kind of a neutral gain, and I'm gonna show you what we got there. A little muddy in the mix there. I learned this from a sound tech years ago. I really like to crank my mids. We're not going to touch the lows, we're going to crank some mids. Let's bring them up to the 12 o'clock position. Okay, there we go, half mids. I tell you one thing too, if you keep mids in the mix, a lot of mids, your sound tech that's miking you is going to really enjoy it. You'll be able to really feed the microphone a good tone. Okay, I'm going to bring that up even more. I'm going to go a little more extreme. We're going to go about 3 o'clock position. me, that sounded pretty awesome. I really like the mids. I can't see need for going too much higher than that, but heck, I mean, too much mids is a little bit better than not enough. Let's go for broke. Full blast. She really kicks through. So we're going to bring the mids back about 3 o'clock position, and I want to try to put a little bit more bottom end in there. So we're going to bring the lows up a bit more. Don't like to go too heavy in the lows. Sounding pretty good there. Bring the lows back just a hair, and I'm going to add just a bit more highs. And obviously, the more highs you add, you might want to compensate with the presence and maybe bring the presence back a little bit. More highs you want, probably a little bit less presence. More presence, less highs, if that makes any sense. You don't want it to get too shrill and sound like razor blades flying at your ears. So let's see what we got there. Not too bad at all. I kind of like that tone. All right, so we're going to get more of a neutral tone, bring it back a little bit, and we're going to pop over to the lead channel, the red channel, and show you what that one sounds like. All right, so I'm going to keep our gain at the same. Obviously, when you switch to the second channel, the gain will increase. Leave the lows where I've got them, the highs. Actually, I'm going to leave everything just the way it is, and we're going to switch over to the lead channel. So one last time, just so your ears are familiar, here's what we have in the blue channel. All right, we can maybe add a hair more gain in there, not that I think you really need it, but hey, let's throw it in there. A lot of gain, a lot of gain. Now, on the back of the amplifier, I touched base earlier on the resonance control. The resonance is kind of like presence, only it's a low end presence. It's the low sonic tonality of the amplifier. On the back, I've got it at about the, okay, I'm going to bring it to about the 9 o'clock position. So I'm going to stay on the blue channel because you'll get to hear that chunk a little bit more on the rhythm channel. Just going to do a couple chords with the resonance at about the 9 o'clock position. Alright, we're going to bring it up a few notches up to the 12 o'clock position. It should be enough to give you a feel for the difference in the resonance. Alright, 12 o'clock. Okay, we're going to go a little bit more extreme. We're going to go to 3 o'clock position. And we'll go for broke, full blast. And there you go. You're noticing, I'm sure you've noticed here, the differences in the low end resonance on that. I particularly wouldn't go more than probably 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock position. And there again, just like presence, you're going to want to compensate for your lows. If the more resonance you add, the more lows you're going to want to take away. It's a cascading balancing act. So that works with presence. The more presence you add, the less highs you want to use, vice versa with resonance. All right, we're going to stop here for a second, and now I'm going to hook up the effects loop. Now, the only thing I don't like about this amplifier, I might as well get it out of the way right away, is the fact that it doesn't have an effects loop bypass. So those of you that have your loopers and your switchers and things like that, that you can get like a true bypass switch through your effects loop, then you're off to the races. I don't particularly have that with my pedal board set up, so the only way with this amplifier I can remove my effects out of the loop is either one, turn them all off. But if I've got some pedals that aren't true bypass, well, it's still not out of the loop. So pull your cables out of the back of the amplifier. That's the only thing you're going to be able to do. All right, so we're going to hook up the effects loop and see what we got from there. Okay, the effects loop is hooked up now. I've got it running all my pedals through the effects loop. And the first thing you're probably noticing is lack of hiss. I've got the Boss NS2 noise suppressor on there. I'll just disable that for a moment. And I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but it's quite noticeable here, at least in the studio. I swear by the NS2. There's a million noise suppressor pedals out there, Noise Gates, MXR, everybody, Smart Gates. But honestly, I like the NS2. It's been with me for a lot of years. It seems to work very, very well. I don't clamp mine down too tight. I have it so like I still get to sustain, but it takes away the annoying hiss in the gain. What I'm also running right now too is I'm running effects-wise. I've got the Boss NS2, a Boss RV5 reverb. You really want to reverb with this amplifier. I'm using a Boss DD3 for a nice simple delay. I do have my sorry, I gotta always say this, the BBE Sonic Maximizer Sonic Stomp pedal. I have that just for a little bit of bottom end and some brilliance to it as well too. Here again, using that pedal, you got to go back to your resonance controls and your low end and dial accordingly. But this is just a setup I normally would use through the bigger brother, the 5150-300 watts half stack I have. So same settings on the blue channel. I'm going to show you with some effects and see what we've got. Lots of reverb. I've got kind of the eruption reverb on there right now, so it's a heavy, really wet reverb, but it does get to give you an idea of what this thing will sound like with some effects. I like it a lot. Even pop the phaser on with that. The phaser sounds nice. It's running to the front of the amplifier. Sounds very, very nice through the loop. I personally would not play this amplifier without some effects in it, my personal choice. Then again, they're my crutch sometimes too, but they're my one trick setup. I like it, works for me. You do what you want to do. Okay, we're going to take, actually, let's try switching over to the lead channel. Same setup, same delay, everything is the same there as well, and we'll see what that sounds like. Try a little bit of a longer delay. Let's see what we got here. Actually, it sounds really, really good. I think you're getting an idea of what this thing can do between the rhythm and the lead channel. I find it a very inspiring amplifier. I also find it something that you can play at low volumes. I had a question asked to me earlier today on Facebook. A couple of people were asking, they were saying, does this go as quiet as the 50 watt and the 100 watt? And for some reason, I think it's what's strange about this. Yes, it does. But I find the 100 watt half stack, with the 100 watt I have, and some of you have seen that, can get quieter, which is strange. I don't get the architecture there, but you can play this in a bedroom, you can play this in a small apartment, not a problem there. Okay, quick performance. So there you go, there's a wrap up of the EVH 5150III LBX or Lunchbox Amplifier. I had a great time filming this video. It had some technical problems yesterday, so that's why I thought we'd scrap the whole thing and start over. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you like the review. Please leave me some feedback down below. As always, give me a like. If you can subscribe if you haven't done so already, I'd greatly appreciate that as well. Tell your friends. And check out this amplifier as soon as you can. All right, until next time, cheers.